we move on. In this game, Cassian took black and Benjamin took white. We start with a very interesting Joseki. So after this Kosumi, and in earlier times we were used to such a move or maybe such a move, and here we see that Kosumi, which looks unexpected, and of course white can block. What is black's plan then? Black's plan is to simply jump. And this looks just like a normal Joseki. A, B, C, D, E, but with an exchange. F for G. Who is the exchange good for? It's difficult to say. It's just an even exchange. White can now play like that, and if black wants, black can run with the stone, or black can leave it alone. It's an even result, it's a Joseki. White didn't split black stones, and this was a mistake, a big mistake, because now it's so comfortable for black to connect everything. White played like this, but here we see a result very, very similar to an avalanche Joseki, but just worse for white, because it's like the avalanche Joseki, and now instead of extending, keeping black down on the third line and having a strong shape, white plays like this and black jumps. This is certainly a good exchange for black. If I were white, by the way, I would have, instead of playing this move, I would have played Hane. I think this is a bit better for white, because now black doesn't have access to the bottom side. Still good for black. However, in fact, there is a little bit of a weakness in black's shape, and maybe white was hoping for it. For example, if white gets this move, then later there might be a few problems in black's shape. For now, black plays this. This I don't really like, because there is still such problem. If black blocks, then white is able to start a cross. So white will not play that move now, but in the future, if white has threats, white can play this move, and black is going to be forced to simply extend, and this is certainly not what black intended. Therefore, I'd rather recommend playing a solid shape Kosumi. Good move. Yeah, it's useful to play around there, otherwise white can push us down. White plays here, black continues. I thought it's completely normal idea to ignore the bottom side for now. Even if white blocks, white's shape is still not perfect, but black decided to continue. And yeah, white doesn't want to fight. The fight looks indeed very, very risky for white. Instead, white plays from above, and one thing to learn from this shape is after black plays his Atari, you can just extend. This is most often the best move. And if black takes, well, in this shape white can simply ignore it. It's not big at all. It's really, really, really small. So just extend, you just ignore what your opponent was doing. But in the game, white tries to play a bit more sharply. However, like this, white will lose center. Instead, white plays Atari, wanting to have a better shape, but then a fight starts, and this fight does not look favorable for white. So yeah, at this point, white is too busy. White needs to run, but unfortunately, black doesn't have problems with liberties, because black can always capture in center. White goes out, but black captures in center and then cuts. So this is really looking bad for white, and the culprit is this Atari, to which black reacted in the most powerful and correct manner. Yeah, basically no other way. Maybe right now better to not connect these stones. Maybe better to leave them behind, because they are becoming only a burden. Though white managed to find a beautiful Tesuji right now, how to not die with his group, with his dumpling. He played here a beautiful move, but black can capture white with an Oyotoshi. However, then white can capture black, and the final shape becomes like this. But now, a very important lesson. When you see such an obvious variation, you are often inclined to simply play it out without thinking, but try always to look if there is some opportunity to do something a bit better, and here there indeed was. Yeah, we cannot fight like this. This doesn't work. This is White's plan. However, if we already know that we are going to sacrifice 3 stones for capturing another 3 stones, then we can start with this move and then play here. And then it's just like in the game, but with the 1-2 exchange, which is certainly very good for black. And anyway, the result is good for black. Black takes center to play on the top side. Black is very happy. Black's Ponuki is much better placed than White's. And black has all the territory in that corner. White attaches. Usually to this attachment you react with Hane and go down, and this descent really makes sense because it destroys White's potential for a base. So not sure why not this Hane. Maybe black was afraid of a counter Hane and didn't want to fight like this. This would be very interesting, but yeah, maybe not the ideal way for black. However, I think also fine. Can we play like that, or this is too easy for white? Anyway, black simply went up, which is also a powerful play, and then decides to attack white the most aggressively by taking away the base. This move of white is a mistake because it makes things too obvious. We could also use the move from the other side for that center agi, and then we have better chances to making a base. But for now we shouldn't play anything, any of these moves. We should go out, in my opinion, because black is not going to play here. It would be too easy for white. Black is going to fight with us on the outside, and later maybe we will be even able to use the agi in this manner. This would be really great if this can work for white. So for now, better to play on the outside, leaving the agi behind. It will be much more difficult for black to attack us when the agi is open. Like this, we closed the agi. It's an agi keshi, what white played. And yeah, white builds a group, but in a bit heavy manner. If I were black, I would certainly play from the outside, and yeah, white will be probably able to live, but black gets really a lot on the outside. But instead black plays more aggressively, and in fact this worked well, which surprised me. For now white plays here. Yeah, white didn't want to give black 2 stones. Isn't it better to play like this and then that? Not sure, because in the game it seemed that white is either going to go out or to create ice. But black very boldly let white create one eye and then claim that there is no space for the other. And I looked at this situation for quite some time, and I also don't really see a way for white to create the second eye, which is shocking. I still believe that there exists a way. Usually there should exist a way. One thing which we can start with is this cut, which is certainly sent. If black doesn't answer, then we can save the group. If black plays from there, then actually white is already good, because then this block becomes center, and then certainly we are able to make an eye. So black needs to connect from the other side. This might help on the outside, but in fact it's really not clear how. What I think would be my best idea is to maybe try this one. Not easy at all. Alternatively, here, black takes away the eye, then we can get this in center, then we can play here. Black cannot go like that because then we live. Black cannot. Yeah, black needs to play here. That's the only move. But this is not alive for white. Not alive. Maybe now. Ogema. Now Ogema, yes. Not before. Before Ogema didn't make sense. I actually meant this one. I meant this one. Still, it's going to be very difficult to make life. So black was very bold, but white was not able to make the second eye. So white started a fight on the outside, that makes sense, but it doesn't look promising. Black just needs to live with all his stones, and by doing it, he also managed to capture white stones on the top. So yeah, now the game seems to be very easy for black. Black can simply run. It's enough. It's enough to run out. White doesn't have that many liberties. White has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Even if black doesn't make life, black will capture white. Like this, it's also good, though there appear some algae in black's shape, which we can study. But it seems that nothing really works for white. So yeah, the game should be easy for black, and it indeed was. Black managed to capture that other group, and right now the best idea would be to first turn, then play here. Instead, black played the move before, and then white found a nice counter. And yeah, the continuation of the counter. So this didn't work well for black. However, still black manages to capture the cutting stones, capture the group. And right now the question is, if white takes all of that huge moyo, can white win the game? Black took really a lot. So now the question is to you. What do you think? What is bigger? You can start to count points, but I have a better idea. Instead of a normal, regular counting points, you can use a method which maybe you never used before on a 19 by 19 board. But if you play on a 9 by 9, then maybe you know it from there. Let's use a Chinese way of counting points instead of Japanese, which is area, not territory. Who has bigger area wins. Also in Japanese rules, because the rules are equivalent. So now who has bigger area? Well, we can count on fingers how many stones white has within black's area. Maybe 8, 12, 13, something like 13. And black inside white's area, 8, 9, 10 for sure, 11, 12, 13, and here the half of stones, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. If black has 5 stones more, that's already enough to compensate for komi, because 5 stones are worth 10 points. So it's enough for black. Black doesn't even need to play a good endgame. It's enough for black to play like this, making sure that there is no agi in his shape, and the game is over. So if you can make such an assessment, that should be actually very quick, and yeah, you can finish the game in the most easy manner. If you want, you can even play here right now to make the game have less moves, because you are just sure that you have more. Surely black wins. You don't need to try anything within white's area. However, black tried, and then very, very ironically, white found a Tetsuji. Alright, that's not much because it's just a few points. But then black decides to play endgame, play like this and that. And in fact, black fell into white's trap. So it seemed that black managed to protect everything in center, played on the left side, and then white found this beautiful tesuji and lived with the group. So, oh my goodness, suddenly the game becomes a game again. White is not completely lost yet. By capturing these two stones, white saves 5, 10, 15, 20, 30 stones, so 60 points. So if now white doesn't lose 50 points around there, white can still hope to win the game. However, it's a bit difficult to not lose 60 points. How is it 50 points? Because it's like 10, 20, 30. This is already 50 and black will have another points on the bottom. So it's enough for black to play something like this and black is already ahead. So this is more or less what happened. Black made life and then white resigned. So white had his moment of glory when he found this beautiful tesuji, but it was unfortunately not enough to reverse the game. Alright, so this is it about this game. Exciting one, and let's move to the next one.